Hi everyone, happy Thursday. My name is Ting and I'm the owner of Ting Yuan Art, and I'm an artist and an art business coach. Now today I'm going to do some Q&A. I've got two wonderful questions that would really help a lot of artists, I think. And the first question is, Ting, I can't seem to sell my work. I try to often post on social media and get tons of likes, but no sales. It becomes disheartening, and although I've done art sales courses and biz courses, I'm still not selling. Thanks so much. Now, I know it is very frustrating for artists. We work really hard at making our craft. We get really skilled at it. And then we start posting on social media, because that is the thing, isn't it? Social media is definitely, is basically what today's world has become. Everybody's on social media. So of course you want to be on social media so you can be seen. So as artists, we start posting our art, we start getting likes, comments, hearts, and all of that. But yet, when it translates to business, does it really translate? It does not. And that is so frustrating, isn't it? And I understand and empathize with this artist that's questioning, that has this question. And I know she's not the only person that has this question. I would say majority of the artists have these questions. Now the thing is, social media is a platform that is very different. So I want to discuss three things. I want to touch base about three things that's very important. One of it is the problem. The other one is the reason why. And the third one is the solution. Okay? Now, the problem is no sales. All right. Let me just tell you a little bit about social media. With social media, we are, they're posting all the time, talking about it to get attention, to basically to break through the noise and said, look at me, look at my art, because I do believe that you would like my art. And for them to eventually buy from you is a different story. So when you hear hype about artists that are doing really well, that have sold this and that, and and you haven't sold any, of course your heart is just going to drop and you're going to feel so depleted, because you have worked hard and you have worked as hard as this artist that just sold. But have you ever wondered where this artist sold her work? Did she sell her work through an art show that she just did, and then maybe she didn't sell it at the art show, and eventually this person has seen the art that she or he really liked, decided to approach her on social media or go to her website and purchase art. So you have to think about how the direction of the sale happens. Did it happen directly through social media, or did it happen indirectly through social media, right? So don't believe everything you see and everything you hear. And because everything you see and hear, you're going to think, oh, she's selling and I'm not. Why is that? My art is just as good as hers, right? That would make you feel very inferior. That would make you feel like you're not good enough. The one thing that's very important, artists, as an entrepreneur, your confidence, you got to protect your confidence. You got to protect who you are. You got to know who you are solely and be very confident that your art will sell. It's just what channel will it sell, right? If you look at all the products out there, how do people sell products? They do commercials, they do radio commercials, they do print ads, and they also do Facebook Lives, okay? And also Facebook ads. So when you hear the hype, every time somebody sells something on Facebook or on Instagram or other social media, just know that one sale also means there are hundreds and millions of people that are not making sales. And why do I know that? Because I know the conversion rate, okay? I know the conversion rate of what online sale is, okay? So now we're going to our why. Here's the conversion rate when it comes to online sale. Online sale is 2.8% conversion rate. That is very slim, isn't it? That is shockingly slim. So there are a lot of people out there that have products, artists included. We think, okay, well, this is wonderful. The world has opened up and now we can do social media. How wonderful it is to be able to share our art and sell through social media. Well, I'm just going to sit at home. I'm going to paint and then I'm going to post my art and then we're going to sell, right? We're going to sell. And unfortunately, months later, nothing is happening. People like you, people, follow you, people heart you, people talk to you. Nothing is happening. Why is that? Think of it. The conversion rate is slim, right? And we're talking about online sales. So online sales is about through the website and via social selling. Now, social selling is different from social posting and social media. Okay, social selling is basically through subscriber list. All right. Now, with social media, it's slim because people go there for a certain reason. People do not go to social media to purchase. Because just think, do we go to social media when we want to buy a dress? When we want to buy a pair of pants? No, we don't. We really don't. We go to Amazon. We go to different other marketplaces. I understand Facebook and Instagram are opening marketplaces now, but that's going to take a time for it to catch on because people are still going to the to the Amazon to purchase things, or to websites they already know the artist to purchase the art. Okay, so social media is for entertainment, and it's for socializing, and it's also for education. All right, so if you write posts, they're very educational, very intentional, and and you describe your art and all of that. Yes, people go there. People are going to want to, they will be magnetized your posts because you're talking about things that are very relevant to your art. If they love your art, that's perfect. Then you'll be doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Okay, let me just check if I have miss anything. But you have to realize too, social media, most people are on social media on their device, their cell phone device. So just think, if you're going to buy an original painting, are you actually going on a cell phone to buy an original painting? No, you're not. The screen is too small. You can't see. And therefore you need to have to be on a desktop or a laptop so you can see the art better. So social media, it really is not for selling things, and it's not for buying things, because most people are on their cell phone, and I would say I think it's about 90% are on their cell phone, with social media. Therefore they're there because of entertainment. They could be waiting for the meals to show up in the restaurant, so they thought, oh, I'll entertain myself and go to Facebook or Instagram, right? So it's very different capabilities what social media can do for you. Now, I know there's also a lot of classes out there teaching you how to do social media and all of that. And I'm not saying, that it doesn't work. I'm just saying sales happen very rarely online, on social media. So do not be discouraged if you see other people selling and you're not, because you are the hundreds of millions of people out there, business profile out there, that are not selling products, okay? It is not meant for selling product, and that is the reason why. Now, the thing is, let's find a solution for it, okay? I'm not saying that, you need to ditch social media because it's a waste of time. It's not. Social media, if you know exactly what's for, then you will find the good usage of it and you will leverage it, right? So what is good for social media is if you have a mission, all right? If your art has a mission, you can share it. You can talk about your brand. You can talk about your art. You can show them the process. You can basically get people intrigued with your art. From there, you want them to subscribe to your website. So when they subscribe to your website, you can nurture them. When you nurture them, that's when sales will happen. Because the thing with connections and selling, right? Selling is really about connection. That takes time to build. And because it takes time to build, it's good to have them on your subscriber list. When you send out newsletters, you talk about your art, you're nurturing your customers, you're giving them the reasons why they love your art. You're telling them the stories about your art. You're telling them why you paint them, what is so important about your mission. And eventually they will hear it. They'll hear the message over and over again. And once they see the work that really touched their heart, that's when sales happen. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to do with social media. Social media is to make you find people that are like-minded, that love your art, that love your kind of mission, and then from there you get them to subscribe, and then you nurture them. All right. So artists, please don't be discouraged when sales not happening on social media. Just remember what the platforms are. There's different usage for platforms. It's just like your website is important. You have to have your website because that's e-commerce. That's where you're going to send people to purchase, right? So that's an important one. Your social media is to basically promote your work so that you can get people to subscribe. And where is the subscribe list going to be? It's going to be on your website, right? So that's how it's going to happen, all right? And if you count on just social media to do sales and to make a business out of it, I'm sorry to tell you this, but the truth is, if you want to make a business out of your art, you have to do some one-on-one. You got to see people. You got to do some art shows, because that's the only way to really capture people very quickly. You can have conversations with people. You can interact with people. Going through my experience, I'll tell you what I did, because I've sold art for over 20 years and I have an art gallery for 13 years. I have to start counting it, for 13 years. So it's been a long time, right? And I've been doing it consistently, and that's how I make a living over 20 years. And I've been concentrating on my energy via art gallery, doing one-on-one sales and also art shows. And then I also basically grow my subscriber list. And only just a few years ago, I started looking at social media and having an interest in it. So when I started doing social media, my thing was really to attract people to get to know my art. And I was hoping to sell my art as well. But, after many years of doing social media, posting a lot in the beginning, because thinking that, okay, well, to get attention, I got to post like 4 times a day, right? So I was doing that. But in the end, I realized that the connection is not as effective as if you were to see people in person. When you see people in person, you get to have that conversation. You get to tell the people, what your art is about. What is this about, right? If your mission is about empowering people, right, you can have conversations with people. And when I am in the gallery, I have to say, sales happen when there's a connection. All right, and sales happen when there's a one-on-one conversations. Very, very little. I would say it's very rare for somebody to go to my gallery, look at something on the wall and say, I'll just take this. It happened to me actually twice, shockingly, and it was very surprising actually. And imagine, I've been selling art for over like 20 years, right? So imagine, if it only happened to me twice, that somebody actually go to the wall and say, I want this, give it to me, and I package it. And shockingly, both men were so similar. They were older men, and they're not the kind of people that you think, they're art connoisseurs. They just came in, they look at the work, and before I could even, say more than, introducing myself to them and saying who I am and what my art is about, right? After I've said that, I left them alone. And before I could say another word, they basically say, okay, I'll take this too, right? So that is really, really rare, folks. So don't think badly about yourself or about your art. It's just different channels is for different things, and there's different usage, okay? So if you want to make art into your business, I want you to think about the art marketing part. That is very important. And I want you to think about, what art shows can you do? Or maybe there's a farmer's market that you can do. When I started selling my art, before I had my galleries, I did a lot of art shows. And I was very humble. I didn't do just, the fancy art shows. Yes, I sold art via Art Miami and all of that. But I also did small shows. I did farmer's market. I did art in the park, which is basically I set up in the park and sell my art. So be humble, because all of these experiences is to teach you how to market your art. And if you don't have the time to do so, and you don't have time to just go through the trial and errors like I did, not that I had time, but I was just, at that time social media wasn't that popular yet, so I just basically had enough of my boring job and thought, okay, well, I'm gonna plunge feet in and I'm gonna do it, right? And because I didn't have a side job to count on, I really, needed to get with it and just do it. So I just basically learned through trials and errors. And because I'm always selling and always out there, in the beginning was just summer opening and some shows, but then it became full-time business, then I'm always there selling, right? From just selling and doing it every single day, you'll learn so much. But if you don't have time to do that, I do have a link on the post that you'll see sign up for my free webinar that's coming up about making and marketing art. You'll really enjoy this because I'm going to teach you 3 secrets on how to make a sellable art collection, okay? Everything really starts with an art collection, but if you're an experienced artist, I know, then you would have a problem with the marketing part. And once you know how to do that, it really is a formula. And once you apply it, you will know exactly how it happens and how you can rinse and repeat, okay? So let me just check and make sure I've mentioned every single thing. Okay. Yes, I think I've done everything. Okay, let's do the second question, okay? Actually, let me just repeat the first 3 things that I said that I want to touch base on, just so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the problem is, the reason why, and the solution. Okay, the problem is that you think that because you're having comments, you're getting likes, you're getting hearts and all of that, art's gonna fly off the studio magically and it's gonna be effortless. It's not gonna be like that, okay? And the reason why is because social media is very different. Social media is not a marketplace. It's not a place for people to purchase art, to purchase anything really. People go to social media because they like to socialize, they like the entertainment, and they like the education. So social media is very good for, the solution is to use social media to promote your work, talk about your mission, brand yourself, you know, to let people know who you are and what your art is about, okay? So that is what the solution is in regards to social media. And the other solution is when it's time to want to make your art into a business, it's time for you to start doing art shows, all right? And start doing, you know, one-on-one selling, all right? You got to do it. I know it's scary, but everybody has to take that first step. To be an artist entrepreneur takes courage. Not only it takes courage, you'll find that the transformation that's going to happen is going to be incredible. If you want to think of how a person can grow, you know, like a plant, you plant the seed and it grows into this blossoming plant. Try to be an entrepreneur and you'll notice that you will grow so much that you wouldn't even recognize yourself. I certainly has grown a lot. And when I look back on what I was like before, sometimes I'm really quite shocked, you know, because it does really push you to the limit and it does push you to learn so much very quickly. And for me, it's rewarding, it's creative. Marketing and making art is such a creative process and I love it. And I know you'll love it too because you're creative. So like I said, if you want to learn how to do it, sign up on my waiting list for my free webinar that's coming up.